the Iranians also want the IRGC to be removed from the terrorist list that President Trump put them under. And of course, as you mentioned earlier, assurances of no future change with different US administration. Now, how can there really be a compromise?
Well, the Iranians actually have dropped the IRGC
True.
demand. They did so in Doha. But what they are still insisting on is some form of assurance that the United States is not going to pull out again. The US has shown very little flexibility except for an agreement that the new text of the agreement will say that if the US withdraws, Iran will leave the agreement. It doesn't say that the US accepts that, but it essentially is part of that text. It's a symbolic issue. I don't think it makes any significant difference for the calculation of a future Republican administration who is dead set on leaving the agreement, as the Trump administration was. Ultimately, in my estimation, the best insurance and guarantee to make sure that the US is actually committed to this deal for the long run is to actually enlarge the deal, to make sure that it's not just secondary sanctions that are lifted, meaning the sanctions the US imposes on India, for instance, if India is trading or investing in Iran, but rather also lifts the primary sanctions, the sanctions that prohibit American companies from going into the Iranian market. Such a deal that would be bigger in the sense of probably longer restrictions on the Iranian nuclear program, but would entail the lifting of American sanctions on American companies, would also then lead to American companies entering the Iranian market. If the US side has a financial stake in the survival of the deal, then you will also see a constituency in the United States that will resist any future president seeking to exit the deal. Such a constituency, such a business constituency, does not currently exist. And I think that helped make it so much easier for Trump to pull out of the agreement. Now, you probably cannot get to that type of a bigger deal right away. You may still need to first have the JCPOA to get to that point. But I would encourage both sides to pursue that, because there's little to suggest that a renewed deal actually will be particularly durable as it stands right now.